Works like this. Type, strategy, and authority. Okay, so let's start with, we are an archetype that is a one-on-one instrument. We're not built to deal with multiples at one time. We're one-on-one energy types. We have this ability to penetrate into the magnetic monopole of the other. And we can't do that with multiple people at one time. It's extremely exhausting for us. But at the same time, we have this very open and absorbing aura that causes us to other constantly. Yeah. So we lose ourselves in othering. And right now, our environment is all about othering. Our environment is political, emotional, structural, social, everything that you can think of is under siege right now. I looked at Laveena Lovett's YouTube clip, Sandy, that you recommended about the December 21st conjunction. And I would recommend, Christy, you look at that very highly. She has a moment on there where she's talking about the individual and the pulse and the depression or the melancholy that comes with the individual and the gate 60, and how she looks at it as depression is like a depression in the road, or a depression where energy's going along and then it sinks into and then builds back up and then goes across. Now I'm modifying that in my own thinking. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I've had a difficult time talking to individuals about this because getting them to accept depression has been tricky. So when she said, oh, the visual of it was so beautiful because it's like, oh, it's going to slide into this depression, this low spot, and kind of hang out there until it builds back up and it's ready to go forward. That is a different kind of mindset. So along with the othering, there's this huge gate 60, line 5, where it's confusion from the top. It's confusion from the leadership. If you read the line, I was just reading that this morning, it's Jupiter and detriment, line 60, gate 5. And it really talks about the where is it? I lost it. Not important. Where I'm going with this is there's all this energetic right now about out there and in here. Mm-hmm. And projectors are the worst about going in here. Instead, we're all out there, constantly, and we lose ourselves. Mm-hmm. So I think this idea of helping us all to navigate this time, both Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's, the December 21st solstice conjunction, solar eclipse at the same time. I mean, it's just mind-boggling. Supreme Court legislation, state election, code, stupid 19 stuff, right? All that's out there. All that's out there. How do we help all of us to turn around and be self-referenced? How do we use our type, strategy, and authority to navigate this? So I was thinking, that one of the first things for me is to stop looking out there. Look, turn your phone off. Turn your internet off. Or perhaps you go, I'm going to schedule my phone and internet usage. Now I know this is a big leap for a lot of people. Okay, I know. I don't. I'm not hooked to that stuff like a lot of people, but I know that's hard. It's very addictive. Okay, but maybe you could cut back. Might be an option. Just a little less, because as long as you're looking at something, you're looking out there. You are othering as a projector. You are not self-referenced. You couldn't even hear an invitation if it came and knocked on your door because you're so busy looking at this thing.
Okay. You're not home.
So that was the first, you're not home. The lights are on, but there ain't nobody there. Then the other thing was being out of other people's energy field. However you want to do that, I think is so important to projectors. Go for a walk down the street. You don't have to be gone a half hour or even an hour. Just go outside the house, maybe walk around the house, maybe walk to the street and come back. But go outside. Outside nature is projector's friend, right? Because there's no other out there right now. Yeah. It helps to dissipate all the othering.
Yeah, it's a reset.
It's a reset, yeah. For me personally, and I don't know if this is a projector thing. You guys chime in on this one because I don't have it, okay? But water is miracle time for me as a projector.
Water is
a long ass shower. I have a 60-gallon water tank, hot water tank. I can stand, it's like a sauna in there. I mean, or a bath, soaking in a bathtub, right?
I said
playing with the hose, doing the dishes. I love to do the dishes because I play in the water. It changes my whole mood. I don't know what that's about. How about you guys? You're nodding yes. What do you think?
Yeah, that's the big one. Water is a huge one for me. My next house, I'm going to live near water. Like, I'm going to be able to see the water.
Nice.
I'm
in it every day, just about.
Well, I'd say we have 3 out of 3 on the water, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So what are the things that help bring you guys back to self-referenced projectorness in the midst of it all? What's your favorite tool?
For me, it's the walking and in a certain sense, getting into a meditative state, even if it's counting steps and focusing on the left-right motion, the integration. And my belief around that, I think there's some science to back it up, is that left-right motion, right foot forward, left hand forward, that back and forth helps to synchronize the hemispheres of the brain. And it gets me into this place where my brain is balanced, everything feels like it's connected up, and then I'm grounded. And then at some point, if it's warm enough, I like to stop and lay on the grass. And
that sounds like fun.
That's the ultimate in discharging energy, I think, is when you get to like lay on the ground for even a few minutes. It's so good.
I can feel it from here. It already feels good. I feel better already. Christy, what do you got?
Going for a walk in the woods for sure is one of my top. Taking a salt bath. Um, and any kind of, I like to be like by moving water, like running water, a river or something like that too. I've been finding lately, it's interesting Sandy saying about the hemispheres of the brain, that one thing that really resets me is to go outside and throw the ball to Harley. There's something about the throwing of the ball. It in my mind is like doing it strategically so that she can catch it properly, and then her bringing it back, and then we celebrate, and then I don't know, there's just something that resets my brain because I'm completely out of thinking. I'm only like in the moment, like in doing something. And it's just my attention's focused on just being, playing. And so that's been a big one for me. I'll just go outside in between stuff and just take 10 minutes and throw her the ball. And I'll notice that like, it's like I have a complete reset just from that.
Yeah.
And then just also like scheduling time to just be by myself, like not having anybody in my aura. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about the cross crawl for a minute. Let's also go down into the neurology of it. Real briefly. We're not going to go, not a deep dive. This is a light dive, okay? Domain and Delicato back in the 50s, I believe it was. You can look it up if you want. But this had to do with our progression neurologically, how we grow up, okay, and how it mimics our decay. At first, you've got a fish in the ocean that does like the Axl Guns N' Roses, right? It's the Guns N' Roses. and then the fish comes on land and it does the homolateral crawl. Same hand, same leg going. This is like a lizard, right? That's the neurology of it. Then the next thing we have in our development is crawling. Okay. So we're four-legged creatures then, and it's contralateral. In other words, right side of the brain, left side of the body, left side of the brain, right side of the body. Left leg goes forward as the right arm goes forward, vice versa. And that's how we walk. We swing our arms. Right arm goes forward, left leg goes forward, left leg goes back, and right leg goes back, left arm goes back. So it is, in fact, a neurological wiring mechanism that has to do with our evolutionary process. So Domain and Delicato dealing with people with learning disabilities. So they had them cross crawl. They had them crawl on the ground. They began to determine that developmentally these children did not spend enough time crawling. And a significant number of them were helped with their learning disability problem through this cross crawl process. Now, this is well documented. It's old. I'm not sure. You can fact check me. Okay. So how that helps us right now is you can actually do that movement, standing, sitting, or lying down. Okay. So it doesn't matter, but all you do is if you raise your right arm and lift your left knee, sitting right now, all you have to do is raise your right arm and lift your left knee off the chair, and then put that one down, put your left arm up and your right knee up. And you just go back and forth like you're walking or marching. Now the elbow has to go above the shoulder joint and the knee has to go above the hip joint. Now, the last part of this is you want to turn your head toward the arm that's coming up. Just like this. That's it. Now that's called a cross crawl. If you're having applied kinesiology says this, that you're switched neurologically if you're getting your words backwards. You're writing things, letters out of sequence or words out of sequence. You're kind of bumping into things. You're noticing you're clumsy. Your thoughts aren't clear. You're kind of fuzzy. Don't know how to focus. 20% of the neurological pathway through the brainstem goes straight down. The other 80% does what you call decussates in the brainstem. It crosses over from side to side. When you're neurologically, what they say, switched in AK, applied kinesiology, more of the fibers going straight up and down are working than crossed, according to that hypothesis, okay? How you straighten it out, you cross crawl. Now, but it also works the lymph system, high concentration of lymph in the anterior triangle and posterior triangle of the neck, right? Neck alongside the SCM right here. Okay, so when you do this, you're squeezing the lymph in your neck. You're squeezing it manually. Your lymph system has no pump, so this is actually pumping your lymph system. When you put your arm down and up, you're pumping the axillary lymph nodes. High concentration in the armpit, high concentration of lymph nodes in the groin area. So when you lift your knee up and down, you're squeezing that too. So this is a huge reset tool, huge. And so simple. Sitting, lying down, or standing, you can do the same movement, okay?
Incredible. What a great lesson. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Lesson on resetting your neurology. Wow.
And one of the ways you can check it is you can put yourself on a scale from 0 to 10 about your energy or your clarity or your your inner focus, whatever you want to do. And you say 0, I don't have any. 10, I've got the most I could ever have. Put yourself on a number and then cross crawl and see where the number is. You prove it to yourself. You don't have to listen to it. You have to believe what I'm telling you. Most of the time, for students, if you do that before a test, you will think so much more clearly. If you've got to do any task where you need mental clarity, if you do this, say, 10 reps on a side before you start your activity, you'll find that you'll be a lot clearer in the process.
Wow.
Very functional tool, yes. If you're feeling sick, do this because it pumps your lymph system and it will help you clear it. Yeah.
It also occurs to me that'd be a great way to get out of overthinking. Like if you found yourself in overthinking, just to stop and do that.
It's like patting your head and rubbing your tummy, right? Can't think while you do that.
No, if you start thinking, you can't do it.